What up, y'all, and welcome to Rockingham Speedway, the Rock, for the 13th race of the NRSL Digital Storm Cup Series. We're gearing up for 101 laps of action on pole for the third time this season, and the 7th time in his Cup Series career is Jonathan Zoerlein, your points leader now by 102 points over Charles Sanford, 119 back is Seth Cole, 135 back Tringali, and 149 back is last week's winner, Andrew Rich. It is Zoerlein's championship by almost 2 races, but we're not even halfway through the season yet, so things can change very fast. Don't forget, back after Miller Motorsports Park, Seth Cole had a 40-point lead, and now he sits, like I just mentioned, 130-something behind this man, Jonathan Zoerlein. His teammate, Nico Tringali, to his outside. These two are the best qualifiers on the season, and they have proven that here once again. Zoerlein, the only driver with multiple poles on the season. Once again, I'm joined by my man, Vince Freeze.
Absolutely, man. Jonathan Zoerlein's championship blues, like you said. Can anyone stop this man? We got some interesting teammate tussles. We got RCR, Hendrick, Penske looks strong in Oskin. EGM's up there. Quinn we saw him run well at Bristol. Rain looking to rebound. And where does Andrew Rich fit into this equation? We'll find out today more at the Rock.
Row 2, you got Samet Oskin and another Hendrick car out of Nate Rogers. Row 3, Cole Deaver and Quinton Moore. We know Deaver slowed up for the first wreck of the night at Bristol last week and then missed everything else. Finished top 10. Quinton Moore, of course, led 112 laps from the pole and got wrecked out late. Finished 22nd. Sebastian Kugelon starting in the top 10 today. He's in row 4 with Allison Rain. And in row 5 is Jesse Turner and Logan York. There you see Andrew Rich starting in 12th. This is one of Rich's hometown tracks. Vince, go over the drivers that failed to qualify the race. You've actually got that this week.
Yeah, we're all set. Thank you. We got Lane Sanders, Lawrence Young, Logan Williams, Scott Roush, Mason Dagger, Christian Russell, Cole Hudson, Bradley Ream, Trey Smith, and Jack Holton. And those winners, like we mentioned, it's been Chevy Ford. We'll start with 2017, Michael Amato in a Chevy. 2018, Austin Alves in a Ford.
Alves.
The only active winner. What was that? Oh, my bad. I just said, Jonathan Zoerlein, 2019 in a Chevy. And Tyler Fink, 2020 in a Ford. And that's it for me, man. Should be a good one.
That's okay. You did that back at Atlanta, too. And I corrected you at Atlanta, too. But it's okay. He doesn't race anymore. I couldn't remember. New scheme for Zachary Fitzwater Sr. He's got the beer on his side now, that Australian power. Let's go trackside.
Drivers, start your engines!
So Zoerlein will lead him to the green flag for the 3rd time this season. Looking through the rest of the points standings, 6th is Alexander Rowe, 7th Nate Rogers, 8th Dylan Young, 9th Peter Onjak, and 10th Samet Oskin. Fitzwater down in 11th. Highest driver in the points without a win this season, Tringali in 4th. And then you got Onjak 9th, Oskin 10th. Lowest driver with a win is Allison Rain in 19th. Some of the drivers we haven't seen win yet this season could get a breakthrough here today. Fitzwater's one of them. He starts deep in the field. Tringali is another of them. He starts 2nd. Samet Oskin, your 2020 Cup champion. He's still looking for career win number 4. He only won at Bristol last year. He starts 3rd. Cloudy conditions is going to mean a few less laps on gas. Green flag is out and we're underway. And expect this race to be a 2-stop once again.
You said in the pre-race here and the pre-call before we came on air, the inside line should dominate early on.
See about 170 into turn 3, down to about $135 in 3 and 4, and you will expect those speeds to drop down to about 120 by the end of the run, if not more. But yeah, as mentioned, Vince, inside line is the way to go. Look at Cole Deaver. Started in 5th, already up to 3rd. See, Tringali is on that outside line, but is going nowhere. See, Quinton Moore, he was on the outside. He's dropped to the bottom. Tringali, if he wants to start moving forward, you got to get in a hole. Him and Rain, they are suffering on that top side. So is Nate Rogers, who started 4th. You will just go backwards, Vince. There is no denying it.
Not just going backwards, but you're giving Jonathan Zoerlein more ammunition, which that guy does not need right now. Let's see if Quinn Moore can. He's had a good short. I mean, it's not really a short track, but he's had a really good under-mile track these last 2 weeks, especially in qualifying. Let's see what he can do.
So they're going to go 3 wide here behind them. Remember, caution flags, they are back this week. And Tringali, though, man, he does just not seem to have it going for him. He is just going backwards.
Rich, too. Andrew Rich back there. Yeah.
Ace Rogers, man, he's moving forward. He is still in go or go home qualifying, but he continues to top those go or go home sessions. Up at the front, it is Zoerlein, Oskin, and Deaver, the top 3 pulling away.
Jesse Turner up there in the top 10. See the fastest laps again. Good run for him so far.
You see, not really seeing Quinton Moore close the gap to Deaver. Well, maybe a little bit. Not too much. This Rain is in 7th place now. It's Kev Shearer to Rose inside. Ace Rogers, man, up to 10th place. What can you say about his day here so far? You see Nate Rogers has made it to the bottom. He is in 12th. Dylan Young, 13th. Tringali still stuck on that top side.
Yeah, man, he's dropping like a rock at the rock. That's tough.
Seth Cole started 33rd. He is about to crack the top 20 here in a few laps. Charles Sanford qualifying poorly as well. He is right behind him. As you see Fitzwater, he is also still stuck on the outside line. James Ellison, who's driving the number that won the first race here, he is way at the back. What, tire strategy, Vince? Like I said, I expect this to be a 2-stop race. I don't think it will be a 1-stop. I think it's a 2-stop. If it is a 2-stop, unless we got people taking 2 tires on that second stop, I would say undercut is the way to go. And even if you do take two tires on that last stop, I think undercut's the way to go regardless. Look at this, man. 2 of the Bulldog drivers you don't usually see at the front are in the top 10. Ace Rogers 8th, Keith Rich in 10th.
It looks like they've been consistent so far. They need a good run. Both these guys have struggled this year, looking to maybe climb their way back into the ranks, especially with some randomness coming up in a couple weeks.
Keith Rich comes in 17th in the points. Ace Rogers is 32nd in the points. Jesse Turner with a good day. He is currently 7th. Rain made quick work of him and Cucolondo up to 5th. We're trying to start closing that gap. Currently still a 10th slower than the 5 of Jazo, as Deaver is inching up to Samet Oskin. We talk about tire wear, tire fall off. 11 laps into the run and already half a second for the race leader.
Yeah, we have 0.7 now. That definitely falling off.
We saw it on lap 1. It was about 170 into turn 3, down to 135. Let's see what that is this lap. Only about 168. All the way down to 130. And that is going to continue the drop as the run progresses. Deaver looking to attack Samet Oskin for 2nd place. Tringali, man, he has fallen out of the top 20. Just got stuck on that top side.
There's Nate.
See, he is clear now, but fell all the way to 21st. Now, he's going to be faster than a lot of these guys. Don't really have a good handle on Tringali's overall speed. You see his fastest lap is a 24.2, and that's because he was riding the top pretty much that entire entire time his tires were good. So Tringale's going to have a lot of work to do to battle back here. But I would
Passing's got a
expect
premium for sure.
I would expect him to start taking down some of these guys. Charles Sanford, man, I'm kind of surprised he is only currently 18th. He's going to put a move on Henry Sanford here for 17th. Well, I guess I can't be surprised about Charles's running position considering where he qualified. How about Seth Coleman? He was running through the field and then he stalled out in 24th.
Andrew Rich, last week's winner.
Andrew currently in 16th. He is not gaining time on Zach Flickinger. Dylan Young taking 12th from Rowe. As Ace Rogers has gotten himself another position. He is up to 7th place now after passing Jesse Turner, and he looks like he'll be setting up Kukulon for 6th. This would be a huge run for Ace. He's trying to jump into the top 30 in points again after having a terrible start to the season. He's showing his speed here today. Allison Rain has closed the gap up to Quinton Moore, and then some. So Rain has really put the gas pedal to the floor here. She could be getting driver Quinton Moore here in a few laps. Cole Deaver unable to get by Oskin as Zoerlein is starting to inch away. This could be a battle between the 5 and the 10 for the win today.
Could be. And we haven't talked about pit road entry as Vince Freed's fallen off.
Go through the back of the running order. You see Vince Freeze here at the very back after a top 10 last week. Second career top 10 for him. Derek Hamill right behind McIntyre, who is struggling. Ellison seeing a bit of a rebound. He's up to 37th now. Fitzwater has still been unable to get to the very bottom. You can see him in the middle here, 3 wide on Bishop and Yepes. I'd expect Fitzwater to start knocking down some of these drivers, Vince, once he can get his car right to the bottom. As you see he'll do here, getting behind Yepes in line. But like Tringale, he just got stuck on that top side, and you know, Fitzy, he started 26, so he was in the meat of the pack. But you can see he is, Owen Miles almost getting into his right rear there. He's got the pace, I just know it. But
find this time for first pit stop for sure.
We're mentioning pit entry. Let's go to our spectator camera. There you can see the pit entry is going to be right here off of turn 4. You're going to want to put your hand out the window or you will get run over. But with the heavy tire events, look at this. 30th place in just 21 laps is 15 seconds behind race leader Jonathan Zoerlein. We could see lap traffic be a thing before we even get to pit stops, because this track just requires so much tire saving that if you don't know how to save, you will fade fast. See, a pretty decent gap from 25th to 24th here. Seth Cole 23rd. Henry Sanford 22nd. Fell out of the top 30 after last week, so he had to go through go or go home for the first time this season. See Tringale starting to knock down some cars. He's in 20th. Currently behind Onjak for what would be 19th. You see a gap from Onjak to Ferranti. As Nate Rogers has fallen. Kukulon has fallen out of the top 10. Looks like he might fall out of the top 15. Sanford's made it up to 12th. Dylan Young is into 10th. Keith Rich 9th. There you see some of the gap here. Turner, last one really in range of this group. Vince running in 7th. And then about 2 seconds to Ace Rogers in 6th. And 3 seconds to Cole Deaver, who has now fallen to 5th. And Allison Rain has made it up to 2nd. And she is closing the gap on Jonathan Zoerlein.
This is where the technical masters come out. Rain, Zoerlein, great drivers, but this is where it separates the great from the good at this place for sure, especially on how to save tires, like you said. And backing up that entry is not a bad strategy as well.
Now, Rain is not running the same line as Zoerlein, and it looks to be costing her some time. See, the speeds in turn 3, Vince, are now down to about a $1.22 at their lowest. You see Rain again losing 0.3 to Zoerlein that lap.
I think it's just that clean air. Rain had to come through the pack a little bit. Now, I still think that's really helping Zoerlein with a little draft off of Freeze.
Look at this, Vince. Last place, Vince Freeze, 26.5 that time by. Zoerlein with a 25.9. He is 0.6 faster than last place.
That's rookie versus legend. I mean, that's really it. You got a legend out there versus a rookie, and like you said, the tire management, not only how to use the brake pedal and roll the center is definitely key at Rockingham. You just see it. Let's go on board with Jonathan Zoerlein. Let's see what the Master, this Lift Master car is doing as we get to start finish. You see he's going into turn 1 here. He's going to arc it. Starts braking early with the tire wear. Watch this middle with the corner speed. Starts to pick up the throttle mid-corner. It's a smooth exit off launch. Runs that high line on the rock, through the wall. He runs pretty consistent between the two seams. Starts braking a little bit now. Turns in early. The car is definitely handling. Not loose, not tight, just right in the middle. Runs the same outside line and starts to pick up the draft. And that's the lap around the rock.
And that was a 26.1 that time by 2.5 seconds off fresh tires, 31 laps. And now Rain has started closing that gap in. Once again, she shifted her line back to the line Zoerlein's running, and that is letting her close the gap.
Wondering if those extra couple laps that she was doing a couple laps ago, just running that different line, was saving a little tire and starting to cool your equipment down. It's important to cool your brakes, especially in dirty air here. You can see it. It's working.
I think Rain should get Zoerlein here before the pit stop sequence begins. I think the cycle should be about 38 to 42 laps or so, if not a little longer. Zoerlein has led this entire stint. I expect him to be the first to pit road. But it's looking like, Vince, that it's going to be down to one of these two winning this race. And I hope I'm not right, but if Rain is this much quicker than Zoerlein, could be looking at a Vegas repeat from last year.
We'll see. Rain lost a little bit there, a little bit tight on the exit. Now, this is where Zoerlein has to be careful. He hasn't put himself in dirty air just yet. He's got to understand that.
Charles Sanford continues to move up positions, but he is 11.5 seconds behind Zoerlein. He would likely need a caution to re-rack the field, as Vince Freeze will be the first put a lap down.
Rain, though, I think will stay behind, but I think 3 and 4, if she gets a good exit, could start peaking. Levi McIntyre is a shock, though. I would not expect him to be out here, I will say.
Let's take a run through the field from front to back. See, top 5 has not changed. Top 8 actually has not changed, as you see. Sanford, Shearer, and Turner, they have pulled away from 10th place Alexander Rowe. Keith Rich has fallen out of the top 10. Nate Rogers still in 12th. Shelton rounds out the top 15. As you see, Kukulon has been caught by Ferranti, Andrew Rich, Nico Tringali, Peter Onjak. They are 16th to 20th. Seth Cole in 21st. See, Pre McShane, Adam Flickinger, William Brock, and then a good gap back to Baranowskis, as you see Henry Sanford, Amanda Evans, Fitzwater, and Yepes. And then Logan York, that's the top 30. Blaine Saylor, Roy Ribbleton, Ellison continuing to move up some positions here. He's up to 33rd now. Reggie Fogelman, Owen Miles, Christian Vargas, RJ Bishop, Brent James, Stephen Colon, Derek Hamill, and Levi McIntyre side by side as Zoerlein and Rain fight it out for the race lead, and that has allowed Oskin and Quinton Moore to close the gap. Everybody being allowed to close the gap here. We're on lap 38. Window is open. Thought maybe somebody was going to pit there, but that was not the case.
Hamill's parking the bus on Zoerlein. Same thing with Levi on Rain. Just can't get anywhere.
Tire wear is at 4 seconds, Vince. So now this is the thing where, you know, we've gone green this entire run, and that's where this next stint I'm gonna be a little concerned, because I've seen some drivers come close to getting in others' quarter panels from the outside line, and if you send it into the corner because you got fresher tires, that could be where we start seeing some accidents occur. It's that like 2-lap difference or a 3-lap difference, etc. And it looks like Hamill might block Zoerlein off the bottom line. That might help Rain get by on the top.
Oh, Zoerlein's going to push up Hamill just a little bit.
At 40 of 100. And when you see Rain kind of has it middle of the corner, but then gets a little tight coming to exit. But she'll lead that lap that time by. So that's our first lead change of the race. And I'm shocked, Vince. I really thought it was bottom line or die, but Rain is making that top side work.
Tires are just flat out cooked. Now here we go.
Rain's going to jump to the bottom. Is this the time for pit stops at lap 41?
Surprised.
No one has pit yet. But Rain takes the race lead. Yeah, tires are dead. Look at this, 105 through turn 1. Rain makes quick work of Hamill, putting him a lap down.
Can't possibly be a one-stopper. There it is.
Rain is going to pit here. She will be the first to pit road. Zoerlein will stay out. So I'm kind of surprised here that Zoerlein stays out. Rain is in, Oskin in, Deaver, and Ace Rogers. Charles Sanford will pit. Andrew Rich will be on this undercut. Tringali, Seth Cole, Fitzwater. Zoerlein will pit in the second group, but it'll be a swamped pit road.
Oh, we got some damage.
I don't see any damage.
Red Bull car, check up a little bit.
Oh yeah, on the 83 there's some nose damage. Doesn't look like anyone's gonna stay out here. So it'll just be 2 groups for this first time by. And it's Rain, Oskin, Deaver, Ace Rogers, the first 4 out, all in sight of each other. Sanford, Turner, and more. Well, let's take a freeze frame here and see who comes out in front of who.
Zoerlein, that would be the key.
There's Rain. Oskin second, Deaver third, Ace Rogers fourth, as expected.
That was close.
Quentin Moore, I believe, is fifth. Sanford, no, Sanford will get fifth. Zoerlein lost some positions there. Dylan Young, Ferranti, Onjak. Yeah, Fitzwater made out big from this. Nothing like a lap of clean air. And you see all the lap cars, Vince. These guys are all going to have fresher tires. Give the race lead to Rain. And that put up to 26th a lap down.
2 monster cars behind me. I think that's Baranowskis and Pre. Yeah, they'll definitely be quicker, I would think.
Let's see, this time by for Rain is a 23.7. Yeah, they are on newer tires. These lap down cars are, but they're not quicker yet. We got to maybe kind of hit that cliff first. See, Oskin's still the fastest. Seeing some of those drivers, though, that were on the outside line that first run, setting some fast times, like Dylan Young, Seth Cole, many, many others. Fitzwater set a 23.72. Where is Tringali? He set a 8. We're going to see a lot of people set some good laps here. But it's a 1.38 second lead for Rain over Samet Oskin. Cole Deaver right there, 1.8 seconds back. Ace Rogers in fourth, 3.8 back. Rounding out the top 5 is Charles Sanford. Quinton Moore 6th. Turner 7th. Zoerlein 8th, losing some positions there on their pit stops. Alexander Rowe in 9th. Kev Shearer rounds out the top 10. Nate Rogers in 11th. Shelton 12th. Flickinger 13th. Keith Rich 14th. Seth Cole up to 15th. Dylan Young 16th. Rich in 17th. Ferranti 18th. Kugelon 19th. Tringali 20th. Fitzwater up to 21st. Onjak 22nd. Adam Flickinger 23rd. Amanda Evans 24th. Henry Sanford 25th. And Logan York is the final car on the lead lap in 26th. Lap down cars, McShane, Baranowskis, Ribbleton, Miles, Brock. Bit of a shocker there. Saylor, Yepes, Ellison, McIntyre, Brent James, Cologne, Fogelman, Vargas, Freeze, Bishop, and Hamill. So now Vince is kind of just about waiting and seeing who's gonna go first here on the second pit cycle. You know, technically window could open at lap 62.
I just don't see that being a good play, though.
But if you go 42 to 43 again, expect these drivers down at around 20 to go. I feel like some people are going to short pit it though. We saw in our finale last year, of course, Vince, drivers went 29 to 32 laps, and then they ended up shorting it about 20 laps because they wanted to take 4 tires. So we'll see what the strategy game is, but it looks like, unless what I predicted before the pit cycle, where if someone on fresher tires dives into the corner on someone on older tires and it causes a caution, I think this race could go green all the way through.
Now the question is, will Allison Rain take this home? We know her tendency is to dominate on these races where it's spread out, the passing's at a premium. I know Zoerlein's making up time. He made about 7/10 there, but he's got to pass cars now.
Well, it would be quite crazy if you count this race, if Rain were to win, and you count that as one of the last 5 races. That is Zoerlein, D. Young, Zoerlein, Rich, Rain, which is Zoerlein winning 2 races, Rich and Rain winning 1 each. But my point, 4 out of those 5 drivers are top 3 on the all-time wins list.
Top heavy season, man. The legends come out to play.
And just think, we started the year with Rich at 15, Rain at 13, and Zoerlein at 13. Zoerlein won 3 races, went up there and took the all-time record. And Rich, in response, tied it right back up 1 race later. Rain is now 2 wins behind them on the list, and she could be looking to start closing that door back up. And of course, Seth Cole, who's won 2 races this year, he's right there with 13 wins. And Charles Sanford, who's got just 1 win this year, behind them with 11. But then you got to go all the way down to Fitzwater at 7 wins. And that's a pretty big gap when you look at how close the list is regarding the top 5 there. But I will say I'm pretty surprised at the season we've had thus far. Almost at the halfway mark. Got a total of 2 drivers who've won multiple races. Zoerlein with 3 and Seth Cole with 2. And then a bunch of drivers with a win apiece. Alexander Rowe, Nate Rogers, Charles Sanford, Allison Rain, Kev Shearer, Dylan Young, Andrew Rich. Rain looking to be the 3rd driver to win multiple races. And you got to do something if you're going to start whittling down that points lead that Zoerlein has. Obviously, out of our front runners ahead of Zoerlein, the ones with the best chance at the championship right now that would benefit from closing the gap is, I believe, Sanford and Oskin. Sanford 2nd in points, 102 back. Oskin 10th, 189 back. Rain is 19th, 270 back. It's going to take a miracle for Rain to close in and be in contention.
The next 2 weekends are really important. Darlington, Homestead, we know how good she's at those tracks. And then you got some randomness coming in soon. I wouldn't count anyone out just yet.
And we know Darlington is going to be about track position off the gate. It's going to be hard to make passes on the inside line there. And, you know, it could ultimately come down to the tire strategy. At the end of the day, Charles Sanford won there last year, just dominated that race. Rain was right there with him, as was Seth Cole. And then, of course, we saw Seth Cole blow up. And then Homestead, man, we had the strategy race last year. That should be fun. See if we get a strategy finish again or not. And then we head into All-Star Weekend at Pensacola. And then that's where things start getting really crazy after All-Star break. 40 laps to go. And Samantha Oskin has been unable to get by the monster cars. And that lead went from about a 2nd and 3/10 to 2.5.
Looking at the lap times, though, it seems like Charles Sanford does have good car in traffic, but I think Rain with the clean air. We'll go back to him cycle through a little bit. There he is.
Yeah, Sanford is closing the distance. Oh, he was. Not that lap. Zoerlein has been unable to do anything with his fresher tires. He is 7.7 seconds back in 7th. Roa's closed up a bit here. He's up to 8th. Turner's fallen to 9th. And D. Young has taken 10th away from Kev Shearer, who's fallen to 13th. D. Young was 16th when he came out of the pit, so D. Young is moving.
Oskin just lost a second almost. I don't know what's going on. There might be the monster cars just causing plow and tight condition in the front end. We'll find out.
Fitzwater into the top 20. He got by McShane. That has allowed Baranowskis to drive away. But now Rain is caught up to one of her drivers, Amanda Evans. Just gotta wonder when the pit window will open up 2/3 of the way through the race. Rain now looking to lap Amanda. That'll leave just 24 cars on the lead lap. And Amanda doesn't put up a fight, just lets her go right on by.
It's looking like one of those Allison Ray dominant type wins. Like you said, that pit stop can come, lap traffic. Sometimes you lose conditions if you overput the tires. The rears are definitely shot at the end of this run, but it looks like no one just has the pace to keep up.
And I'm really surprised that Zoerlein has been able to do nothing with that lap of fresher tires. We know Oskin, Deaver, Ace, Sanford, and Turner, they were all on that first group. Turner has been the only one to fade. It's Quentin Moore, Zoerlein, Rowe. Rowe has been closing. Dylan Young has been closing, but they have done nothing to get up there and start making passes.
There's a move. That's for 6 for Zoerlein now. Let's see if Rowe can do so. He's been definitely closing the gap. Just think the lap traffic, you're just cooking it.
So Zoerlein will take 6th place there. That's going to be 2 points to his advantage. And right now, you know, if Zoerlein passes Sanford, he'll be gaining points in the championship lead. Because, of course, you got Seth Cole is not top 10. Oskin is up there in 2nd, but as mentioned, he is down the points. Andrew Rich is up to 5th in the points, but he's behind Zoerlein. Sanford's the only one ahead of him right now that's top 5 in points. So, man, like, you just need something to happen to that 5 team. But I don't think we're really going to see it until we get to maybe, you know, Pensacola. And then the Pukekohe doubleheader in New Zealand. Bad qualifying day at Road 1 could make a big difference. You know, that's a big track. We do the standing start there. And then, of course, Armory. But, I mean, It's crazy. We're gonna have 17 races after today, Vince, and I already feel like I've decided Zoerlein's the champion. It's a
Without a
long
playoff
way to
format,
go.
man. It's
Yeah, we don't.
yeah, go for it.
No playoff format.
Yeah, without that playoff format, it's people like Samet Oskin's strategy that I said in the preseason. You have to be silky smooth with the consistency that will get you the championship, and that's what you can do in the Cup Series for sure.
And really kind of unexpected that Zoerlein has been this good. Like 3 wins, 8 top 5s, 10 top 10s through 12 races. Next closest driver on the top 10 counter is Tringali with 7. And then for top 5s, it's Seth Cole at 6. Those are the other 2 drivers top 5 in points with Sanford and Rich. So let's look at top 5 in points here today. You've got Sanford in 4th, who got by Ace Rogers. Zoerlein in 6th. There's Andrew Rich in 12th. Seth Cole in 14th. Tringali 19th. We know Tringali started 2nd, but man, that top side, getting stuck on the top really hurt him today. Allison Rain is looking to put Kukul on a lap down. That would leave us with 23 cars on the lead lap. As her lead over Oskin continues to grow. And Zoerlein has not done anything to close that distance.
Yeah, he's just stuck. And,
yep, here we go. Rain's gonna pit. She'll be the first one to pit road. Lap 76. I expected this, to be honest. No signs of anybody else coming down pit road, so if it's a 4-tire pit stop and if a caution does not come out here during this cycle, she's got this race won.
Gotta be careful on exit when you merge. That's about it.
Andrew Rich and Jessica Shelton, the next 2 in. This could be good for Rich in that championship battle over Zoerlein. See Oskin in. The longer Zoerlein stays out, the more he'll hurt himself here, because you got a lot of people coming in. Charles Sanford's into the pit lane. Seth Cole's gonna pit. Tringali's gonna pit. Fitzwater with the undercut again.
Evans in.
Zoerlein leading. He will pit.
Cleaner pit road, though, definitely than the first time.
I believe that'll give the lead to Dylan Young.
Yep. Did.
Keith Richards stayed out there. He'll bring it on in. Roy Ribbleton had stayed out there.
There's Rain.
Rain should re-inherit the race lead here. You're seeing all the people now she's putting a lap down from being the first to pit road. That means she's actually going to have some good race cars behind her now, Vince, that might start passing her. After that first cycle, no one passed her. Unlapped themselves, so might start seeing that tire difference play a factor.
Might be a 7-second gap, though. That's hard to make up in 21 laps.
Rain has now officially retaken the lead, and I'm sure it's over 10 seconds. Nope, it's 7. 7 seconds to Oskin. Deaver is 3rd, Sanford 4th. Ace Rogers 5th, Quinton Moore 6th. Zoerlein 7th, Turner 8th, Nate Rogers 9th, and Rich rounds out the top 10. She has lapped up to 14th place, and she's looking to take 14th place of Dylan Young.
I think Dylan will have the fresh tires, though. I think he'll be okay.
Got some drivers now 2 laps down. Hamill, McIntyre, and Vince Freeze. Dylan Young trying to fight off. So let's look at the top 5 guys. Point standings, Sanford in 4th. 5 seconds ahead of Zoerlein in 7th. Rich is in 10th. Seth Cole 13th. Tringali 15th. Fitzwater actually lost a position on that cycle. In 21st place now, he is. No other real big changes here. Ellison has cracked the top 30. Yeah, that's really it. Nothing, no other real major changes here. Nate Rogers cracking the top 10. That's about it. So this will take him to the finish. Rain has officially the oldest tires now, but with her lead, I really don't think anyone's going to catch her here in these last 17 laps. See, the gap has shrunk to just under 6 seconds. But look at all these lap cars in between her and Samantha Oskin.
I think the top 5, maybe the 5th place might become a battle. That's about it.
You see Ace Rogers in 5th there, and then Quinton Moore in 6th. Zoerlein, I think he's got a shot at the top 5 here, but got to get by Ellison, and then McShane's really the only other obstacle. Turner looking like he might get a top 10 here, but you know Rowe is going to be hungry to get that position. Turner might be the one out of a top 10 as Seth Cole passes Jessica Shelton there for 12th. So after starting 33rd, it's a good day running through the field for Seth Cole, but for the guy who's got the most poles in Cup history, it's shocking to see him qualify outside the top 30 so much this past couple races.
That's got a shot at Milano when we get back to that road course, that super speedway, but he needs a lot. He needs a lot of help on the Q trip for sure.
So as we expected, Dylan Young was able to hold off Rain, and he is pulling away. But Tringali has been unable to do anything. Battle for 15th here between him and Kev Shear, plus Alex Ferranti. It looks like they're going to take these positions away from him. 13 laps to go, Vince, and it's just a matter of counting down these laps to Allison Rain's 15th career win.
Clinical, man. Just put on a clinic today. Made it rain. You know all the analogies. What can you say? Allison Rain knows how to win these dominant type tracks where skill matters, but also where it gets spread out and the consistent strategy. No craziness. We would have saw that at Meadowlands last year. We saw it at Vegas, that West Coast stretch where she dominated. Definitely possible for her to get on a run now if she gets this win.
Oskin is continuing to close the distance, now down to 5 seconds, but like I said, there are a ton of cars between him and Rain, and it would really take some of these guys to start passing the 10 for Oskin to even have a chance.
Before we get a random caution, that's the only way. We have some random wreck.
Well, actually, Vince, in my opinion, you want this to stay green because while that would re-rack the field and it would close the distance, you would still have all those cars between you and the leader, and you would have like 4 less laps to do stuff. But Kev Shearer, man, he's got the car to pass the race leader and unlap himself here. He's gonna get his lap back, and I think Ferranti is gonna follow him through. But while they go by, they are faster. RJ Bishop is starting to fall back to the race leader, and he would be going 2 laps down.
Might get a battle for 5th. That might be the best battle coming up.
Sanford is right there on Deaver for 3rd. But yes, indeed, you mentioned that Ace Rogers and Quinton Moore. Moore looking for a good rebound after what happened to him at Bristol last week.
There's Zoerlein. He's not that far back either.
Andrew Rich has cracked the top 10, and as expected, Turner fell to 11th. Tringali now down to 18th. Fastest lap of the race belongs to Dylan Young. Now Zoerlein, he's closing the gap on the 89 and the 63. See, now Moore's running that slightly lower line, and it's costing him time to Ace Rogers. That's going to open the door for Zoerlein here. battle on for 6th place.
Just gets more drive on the outside there. That's interesting.
So Zoerlein, I think, is going to take 6th place here because Moore decided to run a lower line. And yeah, he'll take 6th. I think Zoerlein might have a good shot at getting 5th there too. Looks like Nate and Andrew, I think, are set 8th and 9th. I think Rowe is set in 10th. Seth Cole up to 11th now over Jesse Turner.
It's Deaver and Seth, Deaver and Sanford are right there, right at the equal.
Sanford took away 3rd. Oskin's continuing to close the distance. It's down to 3.6 seconds, but like I said, there's just no time left. It'll be 4 laps to go this time by.
And what does this do for Allison Rain's championship? We'll understand when we get past Darlington and Homestead, but if this win really can catapult her to two more wins after this, can go back to back to back, similar to the West Coast stretch last year, anything's possible.
Right now, with where she's running and where Zoerlein's running, she would gain 18 points on Zoerlein. If Zoerlein gets by Ace for 5th, she'll gain 15 points. And that would put her either 255 or 252 points back. Baby steps. But I really
Long way
think,
to go.
as you see, Kukalan's going to outbreak Rain into 3 here. That's the tire difference right there.
Oh,
wait,
no.
wait! No way! She can't make it. They underfueled the car. Oh my goodness.
Meadowlands.
And it's not just Meadowlands, because this seems to happen at Rockingham a lot. This seems to happen at this track a lot. Whoever's leading, they always seem to underfuel somehow.
Matt Oskin's gonna steal one.
And more people. There's a lot of people pitting. Turner pit, Shelton pit.
Oh, this is.
Wow, that's
Anyone
crazy.
else
I can't believe they underfueled their cars like that. That is sad. Rain's going to come right back out, but she is now a lap down, and so much for that. Give a 4th career win, 1st of the year. Give it to Samet Oskin.
Levi got damaged.
Yeah, where did that come from? Still green. Must have got it on pit road. Charles Sanford will get 2nd, Deaver 3rd, and Zoerlein comes home with a top 5 in 4th.
That's killer for Rain, man. That championship now is starting to. Oh boy.
Ace Rogers 5th, Moore 6th, Rich 7th, Nate Rogers 8th, Rowe 9th, and Seth Cole gets a top 10, and that is just sad, man. Rain comes home 17th. Rain gets 26 points for the day and loses 22 to Zoerlein instead of what would have been gaining, I believe, 15. Well, that was very unfortunate to witness. Kukalan pit there. He fell all the way to 40th. Turner to 38th. Shelton to 36th. A couple drivers got some free positions out of that one.
50 on the lead lap in 16. That's a good recovery, all things considered. Peter, a good run.
Well, that'll do it for us here at Rockingham, and we'll head to Darlington for another tire shredding strategy race in 1 week's time. So we'll see you guys then.
Signing off.